first visit was here to OSU, and I think as soon as I just stepped foot in Stillwater, especially here at Karsten, I just knew this is where I wanted to come.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously having had so many other Swedes here before me helped as well, but yeah, just I knew if I'm moving this far away from home, I'm coming here for golf, and this is the place I want to be to get better.
Well, I mean, what do you think when you play Karsten for the first time? Like, because a lot of people, like, depending on we spoke about this yesterday, right? Depending on the weather and the day that you come here and how the golf course is set up, could either be the best day of your life or could also ruin your career. You're like, I just shot 85 and I'm supposed to be good at golf. I'm never coming back here, right?
It was probably a good thing. I didn't play during my recruiting trip. Like, I only rode around the course in a golf cart, so I only got to see it. So that was probably like a good introduction. And I'm never going to forget that day I was here. The men's team were out playing a qualifier, and they were playing worst ball as a qualifier. And Alex Noren is on the team, and I think he shot like a 75 +3 in a worst ball out
golf.
here. And I'm like, wow, that's good. I want to come here and see what I can do. But it took me. I don't think I'm exaggerating. It took me my whole freshman year to learn the greens out here. Because I came from slow, pretty flat greens in Europe.
Yeah.
And if I thought it was breaking a cup, it was double that. Like my coach, she told me, she's like, whatever you think the break is, just double it. And that's just how long it took me to figure out, like playing on faster, slopier greens. But I'm thankful for that now, because that's what we play on tour.
Right. Yeah, that's and a lot of people, like, I struggled with this Bermuda grass, like trying to chip out here. I used to hit in bump and run, like, because on firm links fairways you can putt from 100 yards out. You come out here and I'm like, I almost double hit it from a foot off the green, like, and you can't putt out through Bermuda grass either.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it was everything was a big adjustment. But these Zoysia fairways out here at Karsten, they made me spoiled because the ball sits up so well that. Like my whole career now, if I sum it up as a pro golfer, like, I've been living on my putting. My ball striking is probably not the best. And I kind of joked and said, I didn't have to be an amazing ball striker here because the ball is sitting teed up on these fairways. So that's something I've had to work on. And I just think, we got spoiled with how good the ball is sitting on these fairways.
What did you think? I mean, obviously being a European as well, like, kind of nightlife is a big part of our life growing up, right? It's kind of, we always kind of socialize out, and I think generally the way we explain it, to us it's not a big deal, but to Americans it's like, oh my gosh, you sound like a drunk. Like, what do you mean you went out every weekend? I was like, that's all we kind of had to do. What was that nightlife like coming here as a Swedish college athlete growing up in Europe, whereas the Americans, and it's totally different, right? Like, it's also a totally different drinking culture, right? We day drink generally.
Exactly.
Because of process for 8 hours or whatever. Whereas out here, it's like, okay, we'll start at 10 and we'll be destroyed by midnight, right? What was that like for you coming here?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge was, obviously I was of legal drinking age back home, and then I came here and I suddenly felt like a 16-year-old again. But so that was different, and at the same time I was like, yes, I liked to go out and have fun. I was so determined with my golf that I was that boring student athlete that I was like, school and homework and golf, and that's really what I cared about. But saying that, like, when I was here in school, the men's team and the girls team, we were really close. So, we would for sure have a lot of fun on the weekends and go out, but not to the extent of most college students. Because I think it was once in my 4 years here at college that I was so hungover and tried to come out here and play for fun, like early on a Saturday morning. I teed off on 10 and it was like, I hit my drive, I hit my second shot, turned around, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this ever again. But I wanted to show up out here early on the weekends and actually want to practice. So that's probably why I didn't have as many late nights down on the strip here in Stillwater as most college students.
Fine balance, right? Well, you're a college athlete at the end of the day. Like, you can't, one part of me thinks like, what if I wasn't? Like, what would I have done if I didn't have golf in college? I'd have been so bored, right? Because you're like other people who don't do. They like, you have so much time to do stuff. What do you do?
I remember me and one of my teammates. She was very determined, both on the golf course and in school as well, and. We always wanted good grades, and we were looking at all these regular students, and we're like, how can you be failing? You have all the time in the world. Here we are, we have team workouts, we have practice, we're playing, we're leaving for tournaments, and we still have good grades. I'm like, what do you actually do? And kind of like, as in like kind of joking too, but we're like, you have all the time in the world.
You mentioned you guys are pretty close with the guys team. Guys team was pretty. I mean, they were always stacked, but like you had a pretty legendary guys team that period, right?
They were so good when I was here, and I mean that was probably one of the like neatest things with my experience here, because it's just talking to friends at other schools. They were not necessarily hanging out much with the men's team or practicing much, but we did. We were really close, and just to be in that environment, Ricky was here at the same time as me, Morgan Hoffman, Peter Uline, Kevin Tway, like they were all here, and obviously all made it out on tour. So be out to play and practice with them, that's special. It's a pretty good environment to be in.
When you and Ricky are like the same height too, right?
Yeah, probably.
Pretty close to it.